There we go. Hey, well, good afternoon, listeners. I'm Coach Buckley, and this is Coach's Conversation Cafe, another edition. And joining me today is Adam Valencia, CEO and President of Reconnecting Youth, and longtime Visalia resident and former football coach Keith Rodriguez, K-Rod, both who played baseball for me back in the days. And we're excited. Our special guest today is Matt Ainley. He's my nephew. And Matt actually played varsity baseball for me 3 years, and went on and played at Westmont, where his dad had played. And just a little background about Matt. His dad, Tim Ainley, my brother-in-law, who I'm married to his sister, but he was the first baseball coach at Golden West High School. He started that program with our principal, Dick Debker, and also was a great football coach as well, and just a great man who impacted a lot of student athletes at Golden West High School, and went on and ran a ministry school and impacted a lot of people there. And unfortunately, he recently passed away this last summer, and we named a batting cage at the facility for him, and just a great man. And so anyway, we're excited to have Matt here today. And Matt is a local, ex-athlete. And also this month, we've been trying to highlight some of the local businesses in town. And Matt is one of them. He is a part owner of Four Creeks Engineering, and has one of his big projects he's been working on the last couple of years, and it's been completed and going in action right now, but probably during the worst time it could be, is the Darling Hotel. And so Matt that was one of his big projects. He's going to talk to us a little bit about that. But before he does, Matt, give us a little bit of your background. I said you were a Golden West student, but go from there, and then, how you got involved in engineering as well.
Yeah, thanks you guys for having me today again. So yeah, from born in Visalia, and went to Golden West High School, played baseball and football there. Went on, had to kind of decide between baseball and football for college. Went on to play baseball at Westmont College. Played through my career there, and so went into Westmont as a biology major, pre-med, kind of thinking I wanted to go that way, but ended up switching to engineering and physics, and so ended up majoring in that. I was offered a job in Las Vegas coming out of college, but had a friend at a local engineering company in Visalia called Quad Knopf, and got an interview there, and started working in civil engineering. So worked through the tests and got licensed, and then worked there for 8 or 9 years, and then left and started my own engineering company with 3 other partners called Four Creeks, and that's been in business now for almost 13 years, coming up in a few months. And so one of the principals and founders at Four Creeks, I oversee a lot of the land development, private development, designed a lot of what people would know of in Visalia over the last 20 years of my career, and also do a lot of public works projects, and just oversee quite a few of the different departments there. So yeah.
Matt, how many do you have? More than one location for Four Creeks? I know there used to be one in San Luis. Is there still one?
San Luis, Fresno, and Bakersfield.
In Bakersfield, okay, so you've got quite a few there going. And then what sparked your interest to get involved in civil engineering? Was there something that sparked your interest, that when you said you switched from pre-med?
Yeah, for me, I think I think I always was interested in how things worked, and how to make things more efficient or come up with new ideas. And so the kind of physical science as opposed to life science ended up fitting me a little better on that front. And so then also a lot of my most of my my college education was more geared to like nuclear physics, and I didn't really want to work. A lot of my uh, kind of cohort that were graduating, they were getting jobs at Raytheon and Northrop Grumman, and they're having to work in either big cities or pretty remote locations. And what I loved about civil engineering, while it seemed a little bit maybe not as technical or highly complicated as some of the other stuff, it's super flexible. Like, I mean, you need it in every city. It's easy to find a job in it. It's it's just it helps cover the basic needs of what it what it says with civil, which is civilization. So the fact that we have sanitation, we have water, we have streets, we have things that function in a logical way. And so, that's just a necessity no matter where you're at. So you pretty much can get a job anywhere, in any location, and get paid pretty well doing it. So that was really what I liked. In addition, what I got drawn to with civil engineering is I'm a bit of I like kind of new things and trying new things. And there's a lot of business and law and surveying and other things kind of mixed into that, as opposed to just really focusing on something real specific and working through that every day, day
Right.
in and day out. So
Awesome.
Yeah. So, hey, Matt, I got a couple of questions for you, but first and foremost, I want to thank you for the revitalization that you've done with the Darling, and growing up on the north end of town here in Visalia, it's just done my heart really a lot. And I think even for my parents and all of their friends who grew up here in Visalia and can remember that building. And so the fact that you and your partners revitalized that, I mean, that's a big deal. So want to thank you for that. That's been a big it's been a big deal. I mean, I drive down that road literally every other day to see my parents. So I get a chance to see it, and just kind of seeing the development from the very beginning, from the inception. It's just an amazing piece. So my question really is, if you could give us a little background on the Darling, and how that all became kind of a high priority for you and your team.
yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, I think growing up here and seeing a lot of the generation before me and even my generation, a lot of the best and brightest, they kind of leave for college and then don't come back because there isn't maybe a lot of opportunity or things going on, stuff for their kids as they're growing up. And so I think that was something that was important to me initially, was that if I was, gonna come back and work here, that I was gonna be doing everything I could to make the community better, provide opportunities, create jobs, do exciting things that would draw people to come here, stay here, raise families, do that type of stuff. So so really with the Darling, there's actually been kind of a handful of projects. A lot of people, we got into construction about 9 years ago too. So we have a separate construction company, and one of the niches that we really enjoyed is this kind of revitalization, adaptive reuse of old buildings, especially in downtown. Seeing a lot of opportunity with kind of abandoned spaces or old buildings that needed to be brought up to code and revitalized. And it's it's a bit challenging. The typical contractor doesn't want to mess with that type of stuff because there's so many unknowns, so many curveballs, so many design changes. And that's kind of what I like, that, because as a designer, that's what someone usually is paying me to do. So I'm able to really hang in on those curveballs and just be able to be flexible and adapt to it. So really, it started a few years ago with our office in downtown on Santa Fe Street. We took an old print shop. Well, it was like a grain mill, then a motorcycle shop, an antique store, and we gutted it and did kind of a cool office building there on Santa Fe. Then me and some friends, friend needed some office space, bought the old Kasky paper building on Center Street, and put Plainy Mo Pizza in there and jiu-jitsu and other stuff that's going on there. So those were all kind of precursors to the Darling, as far as what gave me the confidence to potentially, or I don't know, maybe it was a false confidence, but enough craziness to try to take on a project like that. Because yeah, it was it was a bit crazy. So but honestly, it was a huge team effort. There's other investors, other people that, really believed in it, that stuck through it, a lot of team on the design and construction side to make that work. So that's really what, again, it was trying to figure out, the county was going to sell that old building. There was an opportunity to kind of figure out, we felt that, and looking at me and my younger brothers, felt like a boutique hotel with a rooftop lounge, would be maybe the highest and best use of that space. So that's honestly where it started.
Yeah, well, no, we certainly appreciate that. And again, I know that you guys have done a lot of projects here in our community, but that's a special place to see it every day. And I wanted to thank you for that. So I appreciate, being a local, myself and Keith, and I know Coach as well, and yourself. I mean, that's a big deal. That's exactly what we've done. We went away to school, we came back, and our goal is to always try to make an impact. And we certainly appreciate the impact that you're making here in Visalia. So thank you for that.
You know what's cool? I just add a point here. What's cool about that building too is it has a lot of history to it, and not just for Visalia. It was the old courthouse, but Matt's grandmother, my mother-in-law, actually worked in that building.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's really cool. It has that history in it. And some of the pictures, if you've gone in there in the Darling, some of the pictures show some of that history. And there's a couple cool pictures of my mother-in-law. And there's a picture of Tim. And there's also a picture of my father-in-law as well. It's kind of cool.
That's great. That's great. Appreciate that. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah. Hey, Matt. Keith Rodriguez here. I mean, absolutely. It's nice. I was gone for over 25 years in Southern California, and then came back here and started to reconnect with folk, and like Adam, like Coach Buckley, and when they started talking to me about some of the project that you were undertaking, it warmed me to know that someone was out there taking that kind of action in our community, to refurbish old sites and everything you just went through. So that's just incredible. It's awesome stuff, Matt. So, for me, thank you as well. How have you how do you feel like sports you've been able to parlay being an athlete, a high school athlete, a collegiate athlete? Your dad was a coach with so much influence on us. How have you been able to really parlay all of that sports stuff into your business and being successful?
Yeah. I mean, I think that, that all those challenges and years of playing sports all, comes together to make kind of people who they are. And honestly, over the years, there's between my previous job and this current one, I've hired a lot of people, and that's honestly one of the things I try to get at is if they've played competitive sports. What's best about that is that, it's in life, most things take a team effort to really, accomplish. I mean, a lot of times it might take, one person with a vision or an idea or to drive it, but it's really, hard, if impossible, to pull legitimate and larger things off by yourself. So, I mean, I think just all those years of learning how to rely on others and work as a team, and know that even in operating a business, know that there's a lot of people have different strengths and weaknesses, and being able to appreciate others weaknesses, or you appreciate recognizing your weaknesses and where you're not gonna, maybe you're not the best at off-speed pitches, or you don't have the best arm, but someone next to you does, right? And so knowing how to plug those people in. I mean, there's a lot of analogies in football, because you got such a variety of skill sets. And so, I think that's just a lot of stuff in coaching others, and finding ways to either, grow people's strengths and help them see their blind spots and find their weaknesses, and understand that that's okay. And then understand how to fill those gaps. And so I think that that's something I also want to, with sports, there's a lot of failure. Obviously, baseball, especially, you fail a lot. And, I mean, my dad always said that from the beginning, right? Like the best hitters fail 70% of the time. Like that's not what kind of education a lot of times teaches you. And so, a 30% grade isn't going to really probably be inspiring or good enough to keep going, right?
Right.
So I think that's another thing that is really challenging is I just like to I try to hire I try to hire people that have learned to lose, that have learned how to fight through adversity, that are okay with taking on challenges, knowing that they can still give it their best, whether they're gonna end up winning or losing on it, and just know that what's more important is that they played the game, they stuck with it, and also had a good positive attitude through it too.
I think that's a great point. It's kind of like the Buccaneers and the Chiefs. The Buccaneers got hammered by them early in the season,
Yeah,
and
right.
instead of just giving up, they thought, okay, we're going to get a new game plan together, how we can beat this team, and they executed it well. But sports is so much like that, and the thing I like about Matt too, he knows how to bring a team together, and he hires a lot of his friends that he knows. He keeps it kind of family. His whole family, all his siblings are involved with the Darling, except Ben, I guess, because he's out of the state. But but somehow he's involved.
Ben was there at the beginning, though.
Yeah, he was. And so Matt is so good about including everybody. And and the other thing, you ask any of his employees, they have fun. I mean, I walked into their office one day and they're having they're throwing darts at each other, or they're shooting Nerf guns at each other, or they're, they have, you have tournaments,
Yeah.
We
have some pretty competitive dodgeball tournaments.
Dodgeball. We got to get in there, Adam. We got to get over there.
I think I got at least one throw left in me.
Yeah.
Like that.
I don't have many throws left in my arm, but
shoot, I
bring what I can.
Yeah,
so anyway, that's cool. But
once you think about this too, Matt, anytime that we could ever help you and support you with anything that you're working on, any projects, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Again, we are definitely vested into our community. When we talk about Visalia, we talk about Tulare County, but there's just so much love that we have, and that's why we're here. From the time that we started coaching to where we're at today, and the work that we do, and every day we're trying to work and trying to figure out strategies on how to support students and families in our community. So we certainly appreciate your effort and really truly making a difference. And that's a big part of what this whole Coaches Conversation Cafe is. The fact that we could come together. I mean, Keith and I started talking about this, and then with Coach Buckley, who was a big inspiration in my life, and I know as well as for Keith, it was automatic for us to bring him on board and to have him leading the way as he did when we played for him. And so to have you here with us is a big deal. Again, I can't say enough about your father and your family. I think about your grandfather. Gosh, just an amazing individual. And so, you're always welcome to come back onto our show, and anything that we can do to support you as you're moving forward, just know that we're here for you.
I appreciate that.
Hey, we've got a couple more questions. I'm going to ask one I think Adam forgot, but what's been one of the biggest challenges for you running business?
Probably, I mean,
I'm sure the pandemic, that was part of it.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
Building that hotel during the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, opening a hotel and restaurant, on July 1st. I mean, literally the day we opened the restaurant was the day that the governor shut down the indoor dining.
Heck of a
grand opening. Haven't been back since. Yeah, as far as inside.
Yeah, we've never even no one's ever even eaten inside of the restaurant yet.
That's right. Only when you had the what they call when we went early,
Yeah, that was before July 1st when we actually
Yeah.
opened on the soft opening night.
Well,
Soft
soft
open,
opening.
that's
Yeah.
what I couldn't remember.
I
the
guess,
word.
yeah. So, but yeah, we've never had, outside guests inside.
I want reservations.
There you
You
go. Well,
better
let me
call
know.
early then, buddy. It's easier to get breakfast than dinner.
Yeah.
It's,
But
We
I'll
want to
say
stay
that,
the whole day, actually.
I'm not picky.
but I'll tell you what Matt's done. He's made it work because I mean, they have, then they told them, you have to only be outside. So luckily
Yeah.
they were on the
Beautiful.
rooftop
Yeah.
and it's beautiful up there. You got the best
yeah.
view of Visalia. And then,
Yeah.
then they've put, last night they had tents up on up there. So even with the rain and they have heaters. And so you've made it work. And, through all this, I'm sure it cost some money to make it work, but it is definitely, it was full last night and the hotel was full too.
Oh, that's great.
I think yesterday might have been one of our best days
Best days.
since we've opened for the restaurant.
Good,
Wow.
good deal.
Changing gears just a wee bit, Matt. Throw us a little bone. What other projects do you guys have going on in the city that we can get excited about, bud?
Yeah. Yeah, right now. So, I've been taking a bit of a breather after the Darling, but I've got like a kind of just a small duplex project I've been working on. There's a new Pro PT office in North Visalia that we're working on now. Probably the one of the more, if you haven't already heard about it, but you'll be hearing about it more. And I think it's really cool. And it kind of goes in a lot to, your guys' podcast platform here is the Soccer City, which is
Oh, yeah.
1852. We're in the middle of designing it, trying to get the plans into the city right now for permit. So it's the old Visalia Pipe and Supply building on Murray and
Oh, yeah.
Johnson.
Johnson.
Southwest corner right there. So that's going to be redeveloped into an indoor. It's got 2 indoor small soccer fields.
Great.
And there's anyways, there's an outdoor soccer field. So there's a pretty good kind of youth complex facility. There is I'm not a part of the some of my other partners are partners in it. Again, because I was coming off the Darling, I just wasn't in a position to take this one like that on, but I've been helping design it. So it has a bit of a soccer. There's a small brewery kind of pub part of it too.
Nice.
But I think that they're going to do it, in a way that is nice and not a raucous, crazy
Right,
thing.
yeah.
So it really is there's a lot of youth sports and opportunity in there for some indoor training and activity, which is
And
cool.
probably adult league too, I would imagine. A lot of adults love to play indoor soccer.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So there'll probably be a ton of youth during the day, and then at night it'll probably be a little adult indoor soccer. But again, it's old abandoned metal building that we all drive by all the time, sitting there, and I think that there was a lot of inspiration and stuff that went into the guys that are doing it. Kind of the guy leading the charge, and that's Jeremy Schultz. He was the general manager of the Fresno FC up in Fresno. Moved back to Visalia he works at our creative company. And so he actually works with us, but he's also starting this kind of side business because he's has such a passion for coaching and youth sports and all that stuff. So again, really cool. I think that's going to be a neat project for not just the community, but downtown and add, more life and people coming around down there. So, and that's honestly even a, I mean, it's next to Rec Park, I guess, but I mean, it's I think it'll be good. It's a tough little area right there. So
Yeah.
It is very tough. Yeah, definitely. And having a project like that coming in is just all that's going to do is just make it that much better. There's a Highland School. There's all kinds of little areas there that could definitely truly benefit. I mean, we could all benefit from that. But what a great project! That's awesome.
That sounds great.
Yeah, Matt, we share their condolences with the passing of your dad. And we all miss him. We know you miss him. Your family misses him more than anybody. And our community misses him because he had a lot more to give still. I know he talks to you. What are some of the things he'd be saying about all your accomplishments that you're doing here, man?
He was, he wasn't ever anyone to hold back, his thoughts. And he told me a lot of times that he was real proud of me and proud of what, we were doing. And yeah, I mean, it was always fun. He, bringing him through those places and getting his thoughts and stuff on all this stuff. So, I mean, yeah, definitely be missing him on those things. I mean, it was, yeah, this summer was, man, it was a crazy. I mean, I think he passed away. He never even got to see the hotel and restaurant finished off. Got up there quite a bit throughout it. But yeah, I mean, his impact will be is still. I mean, I hear it a lot of times. I still, obviously I've grown up with it my whole life. I mean, I was around. I remember you guys when you guys were just don't, tough as nails, football and baseball. I remember I was watching you guys play and stuff. And so that impact will still continue to ripple for a long time. I mean, I think you guys carried on, a lot of others
Definitely.
still coaching, still teaching. And so, I mean, I think it's, yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's like you said, I think he still could have had a lot of good years and still had a lot to impart on others, but definitely his impact was felt and continue to be felt in our community. And I mean, who knows where for a long time. So
For a long time, made a lot of big impact. Well, Matt, we want to thank you I know you're a busy guy. And so I appreciate you taking the time to be part of this. And those of you that are listening, hey, check out the Darling Hotel. It's a great boutique hotel with a lot of history and charisma. And you can't beat the Elderwood, the rooftop dining, great food, great people, and the best view in our valley. What a view from there. It's on the corner of Court and Center in Visalia. So check it out sometime and go check it out when you have a chance. You'll enjoy it. Well, thanks again, Matt. And I always want to leave us with a quote. And today's quote is from Coach John Wooden. He says, "We don't have to be superstars to win championships. All we have to do is learn to rise to every occasion and give our best effort and make those around us better as we do it." And that's what your dad did. He made everyone better being around him. And so anyway, Matt, thank you. And God bless all you guys. And thank you, listeners. And come back next week and we'll have another conversation, Coach's Conversation. All right. Take care.
thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Take care, Matt.
See you around.